I liked drinking. I had a great time drinking for a long time until it turned on me. Inside, my household was very chaotic, but you wouldn't know it from the outside. It looked really good. I put a really good picture on. I would go to work every day. I would get my kids where they needed to go, and I would come home and I would reward myself with wine. And I thought that that was okay because I had taken care of all of my responsibilities. I got everybody where they needed to go. The dog was fed, the kids were fed, all the athletics were taken care of, and now I could calm down and have a couple drinks. And then it became a necessity. I had to get home and drink. And then it got to a point where things weren't getting done. And then it got to a point where I didn't go to work. And then it got to a point where if I did go to work, I'd come home early, and the drinking became earlier, and the drinking was a necessity. I had to drink to live. I went to treatment multiple times. I went to some really good ones too, some big name ones, and I was never introduced to the program of recovery. I would be put in a treatment center by my family because I would be drinking too much, things would get out of control. They would say, oh, Molly's drinking again, we need to rescue her. And I would get rescued, and I would get picked up, and I would get placed somewhere safe. As soon as I would get out, I would drink. The first treatment center, I probably lasted 2 months when I got out. And then the next one, maybe a couple weeks. And then the next one, a week. And then I was away for 8 weeks one time, and I drank on the way home, on the plane ride home. I was in a psych ward, and I had nothing. My family had my car, they had my keys, they had my wallet. My husband wouldn't speak to me, my children didn't want anything to do with me, my dying mother wouldn't speak to me, my father wouldn't speak to me, no one would take my call. And finally, using the little psych ward phone, finally I got a hold of my sister, and she said, I've got a bed for you at Hanley. She said, you can walk out on the streets without anything and do whatever you want to do, or I've got a bed for you at Hanley. I conferred with my psych ward friends, and they said go. They said, this is a great treatment center. They'd all heard of it. I hadn't. It was one of the few I hadn't been to. And they said go, and I did. And I walked into Hanley, and I felt like I could breathe for the first time. No one made me feel bad for being an alcoholic. They knew I was really sick, and they knew I didn't have a solution, and they knew they had one for me. And I had hope for the first time when I walked into Hanley, hope for the first time that I could get well. It was the first time that I understood what alcoholism was and why I did what I did. I always thought that I just needed to be separated from alcohol. As long as I abstained from alcohol, I was going to be okay. And I learned that that wasn't the truth, that without a solution, I was going to go back to alcohol every single time without fail because I had no power, no choice, and no control. Everything comes back together with God. Everything heals and everything restores. We're a healed family again. We have joy and we have love and we have trust. And when they wake up in the morning, they know their mom is there and she's sober and she's present. I think I was blessed with the gift of recovery because I can work with other moms and I can help other moms see that despite what they've been through, despite what they've done, despite the trauma of their children's childhood, they can heal and families can heal because that's my experience. I send everybody to anybody that talks about going to treatment, I send them to Hanley. Why? Because they put you right into the solution. I have been to countless treatment centers. I know people that have been to countless treatment centers. A lot of my friends, a lot of other people I know that have gone through Hanley. Hanley gets you right into the solution right away. We have a common problem, we have a common solution, and Hanley puts you in the solution immediately. I come back to Hanley as often as I can because I love it here. I think Hanley's a sacred place and healing happens there. People get well. People come in very sick and very hopeless and they leave with hope. I have relationships in my life that I could have never dreamed of. I could have never dreamed that my life would be this fulfilled and this happy.